Oh, George is already here and Connor's here. Hello, hello. But because I didn't work yesterday, I just cooked all day, it felt like the weekend. So today feels kind of like a Sunday because yesterday I didn't do any work. Ooh, my hair. I have to re-pony this. But did everybody who celebrates Thanksgiving have a nice Thanksgiving? I hope so. I cooked the turkey and the stuffing and all of that stuff yesterday, so it was really nice. We had some friends over. Hey, Psych Love and Jennifer and Shadow Princess and Blake and Emily and April. Hey, hey, hey. How's everybody doing? And I've obviously got my coffee. Oh, Sarah, it's your first live stream. Well, welcome. This is what we do. We just hang out. And Christina and Laura, Cynthia, George, Gloria, Layla, Callie, Rhiannon. Did I say that right? I wanted to say Rihanna, and I'm sure you get that a lot, but it's just because I'm used to seeing her name. Hey, Maureen, and hey, everybody. How's everybody doing? So, yeah, like I was saying yesterday, I didn't actually Snapchat or Instagram that much. If any of you wonder what I'm doing in my regular life. Oh, thanks for the likes, Chelsea. And make sure you share this. Let everybody know that we're live. You can, and for the applause, Heather, you can capture a moment, and you can let everybody know that we're already going.
Lithuania. Oh, cool.
Oh, Lithuania. Wow. Oh, in the mall? That's awesome, Danny. But you can share it and then, oh, thanks, Cynthia. Woo, 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 big tipper. You can share it and then everybody will know that we're here and then we can get all of our Kenyans on and we can chat and have a good time. So if you share it and let people know, thanks for all the thumbs up. Wow, guys, we're almost to 1,000 thumbs ups already. Let's see how many we can get to. I think last time we got to 20 something, right, Sean? I don't know.
Yeah, 20,000.
Yeah, 20,000 likes. Can you believe it? Thanks, Nora. So yeah, so we're just hanging out. Oh, everybody's here. Emily, Sarah, Allie, Fabian. Nope, you haven't missed any. We just started. We started just now, like a minute ago. I'm still rambling about things that I've did. And so anyway, so yeah, I made Thanksgiving dinner yesterday. We hung out, had some friends over. I got to see one of my friends. She has, if you follow me on Snapchat, you got to see him, Kai. He's so cute. He's getting so big. So we played with kids and hung out. And yeah, it was really nice. And this morning I tried something I've never tried before, which was trying to make a waffle out of leftover stuffing. It did pretty well. Bon Appetit recommended it. I recommend it to you. Super delicious. I know, wasn't he, Maureen? He is so cute. If I do say so myself. I'm a little, partial because it's one of my good friends' little boys, but he's so cute. He was trying to get Sean's slippers on and walk around. It was just adorable. His little feet are like this big. Oh, and I cut myself, too. The dangers of cooking. Thanks, Lucy B. It was stupid how I even cut myself. It wasn't even like cutting anything. I had cleaned the knife and then I'd sat it into the drying rack thing and then rammed my finger into it. It was awesome. So can't trust me with sharp objects. Oh yeah, you're all capturing moments. Yay! Yay! And then you just share it on your social media. And I'm trying to figure out, I think you hit the, you just clicked the picture of me. And then ta-da, you captured it.
The video, not the picture, the video.
Oh yeah, the video. And that Sean's doing it right now. Ta-da! But yeah, it's very cool. I keep cutting out. Does everybody feel like anything is it bad? It looks good for me. It looks like I have we're firing on all cylinders. Hey, Laura and Megan. Okay. So today we're just going to try to guest as many people as we can. And I'm going to answer as many questions of yours as I can. And so if you are on Wi-Fi and you have a good connection, awesome, that's cool. And if it's bad, I'm sorry, I'm just going to have to drop you so that we can just keep going through. And then you can try to come back again because then it makes it more fun for all of us, right? We can jump through, we can get as many questions answered, and we can just chitty chat and hang out here on this wonderful Black Friday, which I am not a fan of all the crazy shopping. I know a lot of people are, but I don't like crowds anyways, and I don't like fighting for goods. I don't know. What are your thoughts? I'm not a fan. I do most of my shopping online these days just because, Oh, thanks, Rachel. Tell me it looks good. Ooh, person from Norway. Is it Levice or is it like Louise, kind of? I don't know how to say the name. Oh, Jennifer, your connection's horrible. I'm sorry. Okay. And I don't think Wascally Wabbit can be on, so the be our guest, so, because I think they said that they're busy or something today. Oh, thanks, Jennifer A. Good to see all of your wonderful faces. Yay, yay, yay. Okay, so let's get into, oh yeah, I know, somebody already found my surprise. My surprise is I have new merch. Ta-da! and I'll share it a couple of times because I know not everybody's on right now. We only have like 200 of us here. But look, you guys. So a lot of you have asked like, hey, when are you going to get new t-shirts? When are you going to do new merch? And I've been working on it. Been working very hard with DFTBA. So I now have 2 posters. Can you see it? Can you see it? And they're on sale today for only $8. And then look at this one. Do you like this one? Are these familiar? Is there a glare? Can you see them? And so because it's Black Friday, so there's just the 2 right now. We're just testing it out to see if you guys like posters, and then we can go into t-shirts and journals and all sorts of things. I'm really excited, you guys. So check it out. Hop on over. They're on sale today. Instead of $10, they're $8. And I know that there's like deals on shipping and stuff. So hop over to DFTBA. Sean has put the links in the description, and you guys can find them. And I like it because one is like vertical and one's horizontal. The process, not perfection, is horizontal, and the healthy mind, healthy body is vertical. So, oh, thanks, Shadow Princess. So I hope you guys like them. I made them myself. So, and with the help of Rachel, the girl at DFTBA, she helped put them together. So I hope you like them. Let me know. I'd love any feedback. Yeah, and if you guys like this, then we can do more merch stuff, but we're just going to start with the posters and see how those go. I hope you guys like them. Yeah, and they ship to the UK. They ship all over the world. I just don't know what the costs are, but the reason I started with posters is because they're really cheap to ship. And so for those of you who are farther away, it won't be like turning a $12 shirt into like a $40 purchase or something ridiculous. I know it wasn't that bad, but it's like doubling your price. So, oh, the merch will be at VidCon because DFTBA is like part of the Vlog Brothers. They own DFTBA and they run VidCon. So I assume there'll be a big... like at the VidCon in Anaheim, I know many of you don't know what VidCon is or what it's going to look like, but there's a portion, and I know that the VidCon in Amsterdam is going to be smaller because it's the first year, but there's like a little hall, like a huge empty room that's filled with different merch, people, stores, so you can buy things from all of your favorite creators. You can also learn about different, like, To Write Love on Their Arms always has a booth, and so you can kind of pop along the different booths and see what people are up to. And so yes, there'll be a DFTBA booth at VidCon Amsterdam, and I'm sure they'll have the posters there because they'll have all of their merch available. So that could be a way too if you want to wait until April, but get it today because it's $2 cheaper. I love a good deal. I can't help it. So yeah, oh, I'm sorry, Arena, you won't be able to come. But you should check out, yeah, VidCon Amsterdam tickets are on sale. We're going to do a bunch of mental health panels, and I haven't figured out which ones yet. They haven't released, we're trying to put it together and decide what will be best. But I can't wait to meet you all. And I'll let you know where I'm going to be. I'll do meetups as I kind of travel through Europe a little bit before I have to head back. But I'm excited, and I cannot wait. Okay, so yay. Oh, good. I'm glad you guys like the posters. You have to check them out, and then let me know, let me know what you think. Okay, let's get into some questions. You guys have some good questions? Oh, you've less, well, Alexandra, I'm glad that you were able to make it on. Says she's missed the last 2 because of time differences. I know, I try to make them kind of either early or in the middle of the day so that everybody can get on. But, huh?
Oh, you probably not be allowed.
Oh, Sean says I'm shouting.
Your voice may hurt you.
I lose my voice, you guys. I get excited and then I... Yeah, and they're not ginormous, Joy. Yeah, I didn't want like huge, those huge posters like back in like my college days, like the band posters. They're actually pretty reasonable size. Like you could put them up anywhere to kind of remind you, even in your like cubicle at work or anything like that. If you have like a locker, you could put it in there. I think it's also really cool. Okay, Laura's asking, when do you know you really need help? The truth of it is that I think that's a common misconception that we have to really be sick in order to get help. And what does sick mean? Sorry, I only have one hand because I'm drinking my coffee with the other. But the truth of it is that we can always get help. Like I go into therapy if I just feel like I need to talk a little bit more and I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. Like that's honestly all that has to be happening for me to reach out and get some support from my therapist and go back in to see her. But for any of you, if you're considering getting help, get help. Honestly, you don't have to be really sick to get help. And the way you know you need help is if you're thinking about it. Because truthfully, if we listen to our bodies and we listen to ourselves, we know what's best for us and we know when we're having a hard time. And if you're even thinking about it, chances are you need it. So I would reach out. Oh, thanks, Shadow Princess. Tipper. Oh no, I just somebody asked if I was sick. I'm not sick. I'm just waking up to be truthful. Thanks, Shadow Princess. I slept in today because I cooked all the food yesterday and we stayed up till like 11. I was wiped, you guys. Like, having trouble keeping my eyes open. Cooking a full meal is actually a lot of work, and I was pooped. And so I slept in till I woke up at like 9, and then I didn't get out of bed till like 10. So yeah, I'm still just like pulling myself together. Okay, let's see. Trisha says, how can you tell someone close to you how much you are struggling without them taking it personally? I think make it all about you. I think that something that we often do is let other people feel responsible. Like, not that we do that. They will take responsibility is what I'm trying to say. So it's like when we tell people that we're having a hard time, they might think like, oh, I should have done something more. And so in order for them not to take it personally, you can just say, I've been having a really hard time and it's nothing that you've done. There's nothing that you should have done. It's just me, and this is what I need from you. And so I find if we're going to tell people about us struggling, it's important to tell them what's going on in a short, succinct fashion. Tell them what you need from them, if anything, and what steps you're going to take moving forward. And that's really all. Often I find if we get into too much of the nitty gritty and stuff, then they start thinking, well, maybe I should have noticed back then when you didn't come to that party or didn't do that. And just keeping it short and succinct and letting them know how they can help out should alleviate any of that where they feel bad about it. Okay, one more question, then we're going to guess some people, okay? And I'll try to get as many guests as I can on. It looks like we have 8 waiting now, so I'll try to get through as many of you as I can. Okay. Oh, I was like, Sean, I was going to read his. He doesn't have a question. He doesn't.
I've got a lot of questions.
I've got a lot of. Okay. Jennifer says, my med dosage change equals racing thoughts. Why? I want to do so many things and I don't have the energy or time for it. It depends on what your medication is. I would talk to your doctor and let them know that this is something that's happened. If you think it's a side effect of the medication, please speak up. Since I'm not a doctor, I don't know all of the side effects of all the medications out there. I know that racing thoughts can be part of like anxiety, can be part of OCD, it can be part of a lot of different things. And if your medication isn't making things better for you, it's making it worse, speak up, let them know. If you're worried about changing medication, just make sure you ask all the questions that you can when you go to the doctor, because it's your body, it's your recovery, and you have a right to know how it's going to feel and what's going to happen, okay? Okay. Oh, that's okay, Keely. I'm glad that you were able to stop in for a little bit, and if you get a break, we'll be here for an hour, so maybe you'll get to pop back in. Okay. I am going to guess somebody. Be your guest. Be your guest. Emily B., it looks like you have been waiting. Are you ready? Let's see if we can get her on. Emily B. Okay. Hi, Emily.
Hi.
Oh, good. You have such a good connection. This is amazing.
It's the first.
So how are you? What's going on?
Not bad. I've just started a new job, so I'm getting
Oh,
used
wow.
to it.
Congratulations.
It's a care job, so it's a lot of hard work.
I'm
Lifting
sure.
people, washing them, stuff like that.
That's awesome. So, how are you taking care of like one person, or are you working at a facility?
There's like a team of us that goes around 3 different areas and will go
Oh,
in,
wow.
visit, wash, feed, anything they need, really.
Wow. How nice. Is it something you've been wanting to do and trying to get into, and now you finally got the job, or?
I've always, like, my mum's a nurse, so I've always been quite interested in stuff like that, but this is just a start, because I don't have the grades to get into university, so.
Oh, that's okay. We all have to start somewhere, right? That's awesome.
Yeah.
At least you're working in the field that you want to be in, like caretaking a little bit. Do you have a question, sweetheart?
I was wondering, I've just come off my antidepressants permanently, but I've been very like anxious, very tearful, and I don't know if that's something that's gonna go away in time, or if it means that I'm not ready.
It could mean a couple of things. I don't know if you've come off like boom, come off of them. Hopefully you've titrated down.
Yeah.
Okay, because that can be a symptom of withdrawal. So if we stop, that's why I always tell people don't stop your medication without talking to your doctor, because some medications, when you go off of them quickly, it can make our heart feel like it's racing. We can have all sorts of weird symptoms and like side effects from it. But if you are feeling really tearful and having a hard time, I think maybe we should go back on, because that sounds like it was something that it was helping you with, and now it's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I would tell your doctor, if you can call or email or whatever kind of system they have, let them know and see if they think you should go back on, or maybe if you want to try different medication. I don't know if that one was like the best for you. I don't know how you were feeling, but
I was actually quite lucky. It was the first one I tried and it did a real good job.
That's awesome. Yay.
So,
That's what we hope for, right? You're like, no whammies. But yeah, I think I would go back on. It's very common for an antidepressant to like stop us from crying. I actually hear from some of my clients who like to cry. They're like, I just don't cry as much as I used to. And I'm like, maybe because you're feeling a little better. But
yeah, that might be it. I'm not used to crying, so
yeah. And I mean, you can assess for yourself like what's comfortable for you, but it sounds like it was doing that. And if you don't like that, then you might want to go back on.
yeah,
But keep me posted.
definitely. I will definitely. Thank you.
Let me know. Of course, of course. I'm glad you could be on.
Same. I've missed the last two, so
Oh yeah. I'll try different times and it all depends on our schedules, right? So
yeah.
we'll try to make it work. But good to see you, Em.
You too. Thank you.
Uh-huh, of course. Bye.
Bye.
Yay! And thank you all for the tips and everything. I know that Keely tipped and everybody's been so generous in giving thumbs ups and all sorts of stuff. So thank you all for that. I don't like to interrupt people when we're guesting and to shout people out, but know that I notice. I see you. And look at all the likes, you guys. We have 5,360. I think we can get past 20,000 this time. I really, really do. Oh yeah, Alexandra, be our guest. Be our guest. Okay. Answer another couple questions and we'll guess somebody else. Are we ready? Okay, someone's asking, I'm not sure how to say it, Leberandalser? Can you talk about how to deal with nostalgia on the holidays? I think that there's a lot of different ways we can manage that. And if it's nostalgic, it doesn't have to be a bad thing. I think that in some ways, something that I do, especially since my dad passed away, is I find it actually kind of nice, and I'm sure Sean notices I do this, but like around certain times of the year, I will bring him up and want to talk about the good times that I remember with him. And so I think that doing that is like my way of being nostalgic, but also like, you know, remembering the good times, not remembering when he was sick and all the things that were bad. It's like, I think it's healthy for me to be nostalgic and to want to remember the good times. And so I honestly would embrace the nostalgia and maybe it's journaling about the things. Oh, thanks, Becca Boca. Oh, that's a cute name. That's a very cute name. But, you know, remembering the good times, you could have, like, with your siblings or cousins or whatever, if that's what you want to do, talk to them about it, and to share in, like, all of the nostalgia and the things that you maybe miss. But if you find it bringing you down so much that you feel like you're struggling with depression, then that's something you should reach out for help for, or you should do things to maybe, I don't know what Sean is doing. It's like beeping. But you could reach out for help, let people know that you're struggling, get some professional support, or potentially, you know, just spend some time with yourself trying to journal about it, maybe fight back to those negative thoughts if you find the nostalgia turning into like negative thought cycles. Those are all things that you can do, but I don't think nostalgia is a bad thing. I think it's okay to embrace it sometimes, okay? One more question, then we're going to guess somebody, okay? Oh, wow, Marissa. She's been a subscriber since we had 2,000 subs. Isn't that crazy? I was just talking to one of my friends, PJ, her husband, my friend Joanna, her husband, PJ, was over last night, and he's a psychiatrist. You know, we work together sometimes, and he was just amazed at how, he's like, I can't believe you guys have been doing this for 5 years. And I'm like, I know. Time flies. He remembers when I was starting, and yeah, so it's really crazy, but our community's growing. It's really awesome. Every share really helps. Every like helps. Every comment that you comment back to another Kenyan to help support them. You guys, it's really cool. Every morning I approve comments, and it's really cool to see you all interacting and getting to know each other. So I really love that. Okay, let's see. Okay, Celeste says, whenever I'm having negative thoughts about myself, my boyfriend gets mad at me. He has BPD. Is this normal? I mean, normal is such a relative word. I'm not gonna lie. But you having negative thoughts about yourself could be just hard for him to hear and to deal with, because often when we're having those negative thoughts, it's all about us changing it. No one can say anything to us to make us feel better. Am I right? No matter how much positive stuff someone tells us, we're still like, that's bullshit. I only believe what I think. And so whether or not he's upset, I wouldn't worry about that. I'd worry more about you having such negative thoughts about yourself, and I would like encourage you strongly at the end of every night to write down 5 things that you think constantly, like those ruminating negative thoughts, and then I want you to argue back. I talk about it in my video with Hannah Hart, the thought dropping video. Check that out, because I think that challenging those negative thoughts with some positive things can be really helpful. And so I would definitely do that, because that can kind of get you out of that and hopefully stop the fights with your boyfriend. It's like 2 birds, 1 stone. Ta-da! Okay.
Do you have a second?
Uh-huh.
I turned on Facebook Live.
Oh, Sean's on Facebook Live. You guys were like dual.
So you tell people on Facebook Live to.
Oh yeah,
YouNow.
we're over on YouNow. Just go over to YouNow.com and search for Kati Morton, or you can just use the hashtag advice, because I think we're #1. We're trending. We're so very trendy. And ask your questions in the chat, or make sure you have a good Wi-Fi connection and I can guest you. Okay, STK Kirks, you're going to be my guest. I hope that you. I wonder where you are. BE, is that Belgium? Question mark? I don't know. Let's see if we can get him on. Hi.
Hi, it works.
It works. Where are you at? Where's BE? That just gives me like letters.
Belgium.
Oh, yay, I'm so good. I thought that's what it was. So how are you?
I'm better now. I've gone through a very difficult time, but it's better now.
Oh, good. I'm glad. So what's going on? Is it late there? It looks like it's dark.
Yeah, it's 10:30 p.m. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you're 9 hours ahead of me. Okay.
I'm already in my bed, so.
Uh-huh. So do you have a question, or what's going on?
Yeah, when I was younger, I was sexual assaulted by someone, and now I'm afraid to get intercourse with guys. So I don't know. Now I'm with a girl, but I don't know if I'm for girls or I'm just scared of boys.
Oh, that's an interesting question. Like if your sexual preference is more related to like a trauma versus just like actually being a sexual preference.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of thoughts about this, so you can look in the chat too, because I'm sure people have their own thoughts on it. My thoughts about trauma related to sexual orientation would be more back to like when you were, like, who were you first attracted to? Do you know what I mean? Like, all of my friends that are in the LGBTQIA plus community always talk about how they knew that they were gay, or they knew that they were bisexual or asexual, like from not a young age, but at some point when everybody else was having crushes or wanting to date others, they either didn't want to date, or they were really, engaged with their best friend of the same gender. Like that's kind of how they knew. And I don't know if that helps you a little bit, because I do have some clients who have like had a really rough sexual trauma, and then they either don't want to have sex with anyone and like feel really uncomfortable with it, or prefer the same sex because the trauma was done by someone of the opposite sex. And I would encourage you to work with it, like with a therapist on it, so you can process through it. But also just considering who you find attractive and when did that start happening for you. And that should kind of give you an idea of like what your preferences are. And maybe you like both, or maybe, you can take time with it. You don't have to know and decide. A lot of people spend their time questioning for, period of time.
Okay.
Is that not helpful? Is that?
Yes, it is helpful. I'm just a little bit confused. That's it.
Yeah, but I don't know if you can see someone to see a therapist, but I would encourage you to do that, because regardless of your sexuality, I think it's important for you to get some help so you can talk through it and know that it's okay and it can get better.
I'm talking to someone, couple, I think 2 months. I find someone that I have the feeling I can trust. So. Okay,
good. Yeah, and that's important to feel like you can trust them. So I would keep talking with them, because I think through the healing process, maybe you'll figure out what sexuality, like what, who you prefer. But I wouldn't really worry about it too much. I know that sounds weird, but just go with what feels good for you now while you're processing through it. And hopefully as you just spend time questioning and understanding what's right for you, then as you heal, you'll, hopefully find the person that fits best and that you enjoy being around the most and you love the most and you want to spend the most time with them. And then we'll kind of know, because you process through the other stuff, that maybe it doesn't have anything to do with that. It's more just what you prefer,
Yeah, okay.
And it's okay to not know. It's okay to question. So don't feel like you have to decide, okay? Give yourself time to just be.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
Yeah, keep me posted. Good to
Okay,
see you. Okay.
bye.
Bye. And that's a tough one, you guys. I think that a lot of people, like I even have people I've met, through the viewers and stuff at different meetups and stuff, talk about that. And I think that there could definitely be a correlation between trauma and it feeling like then you're scared to have sex with the type, whatever trauma happened to you, like if it was the same sex or opposite sex, like not wanting that. But I think processing through the trauma should give us a better idea, and know that it's okay to question your sexuality for a long period of time. Nobody says you have to know. Some people do know, and kudos to them, but other people don't. So give yourself some time, Okay, Desiree says, even when I talk about my past trauma, it doesn't help, so I'm just stuck. I've actually had this happen with a couple of clients over the years, and a lot in the inpatient. Oh, thanks, Emily, for the likes. Oh, guys, we have over 10,000 likes.
We're getting 20,000.
We're so, oh my God. Okay, but when it comes to working through the trauma, you may need a different type of therapist. Like for instance, all of you know that I'm CBT based, and I do a lot of DBT therapy as well. If you wonder what those are, I have videos about them and you can watch them. But I do those types of therapy, so I'm very behavioral. I mean, you guys can tell from my tips, it's more behavioral techniques, things you can do in the moment. And I honestly, my hope is for therapy to be somewhat short term, but there are a lot of people who do more long-term therapy like psychodynamic or psychoanalytic, which can take years and years. And there's trauma therapists and trauma treatment centers. And there's all sorts of things like that so that you can actually get the help you want. Because if you're not working with someone who knows how to process trauma, like that's not my specialty, you can find yourself going round and round and round, because talk therapy and talking out the trauma, it doesn't work for everyone. That's why there's things like schema therapy and somatic experiencing, which I'll have a video coming out. Remember, I have that trauma therapist. I'm going to start editing those videos. I'm so excited. And then there's, like I think I said EMDR. Yeah, there's all sorts of different types of trauma treatment out there. Thanks, Jenny G. Oh, I recognize that name, Jenny G. So yeah, just give yourself the ability to maybe see somebody else that could be a better fit, because it's hard work. Trauma work is hard. And if you find yourself not getting better and going in circles, then maybe we need to think about another type of treatment, because everybody's different. And like exposure therapy or EMDR or talk doesn't work for everybody. That's why there's tons of other options, okay? Oh yeah, and Aurelia says EMDR is amazing. And it can be amazing. And so I think it's just trying different things for you so that you can get the help that you need. Okay. Oh, thanks, Emily29. Whoop, whoop. You guys, 12,000 likes. Whoop, whoop. Oh, Emily B.
Oh, there's a free spin thing too.
Oh, yeah, of course. You're welcome, S. Taker. Huh?
Oh, there's the free spin thing too.
Oh, Sean says there's a free spin at the bottom. Below. Oh, I don't get it because I'm the one that's doing it.
Never mind.
Thanks, Layla. Okay. Ada Potato, oh, that's a cute name, says, I just started on Adderall and it's really triggering my eating disorder. Now my friends are really worried, but I actually, of course, you really like not wanting to eat. It sounds like your eating disorder has been triggered, and I would talk to your doctor. There are non-stimulant types of things like that if ADHD is an issue for you, and that's why you're using the Adderall. There are things that don't suppress the appetite as much. It's something that's very common, and I actually don't encourage my eating disorder clients or in recovery clients of eating disorders to go on Adderall, because it can really mess with your hunger fullness. And since that's something that I work on so much with them and it's actually already difficult, I don't like them to be on it. So I would talk to your psychiatrist, your therapist about it, because I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I can't tell you what medication is right or wrong for you. But since it is triggering your eating disorder and that's really dangerous, I would speak up, because that makes me nervous, okay? Oh, thanks, Destiny Jewel. I assume I'm saying that right. DST, like I'm just saying Destiny. And Rochelle, woo, woo, guys, almost 13,000 likes. Okay. Oh, and Fabian, okay, so Fabs, if you remember, I've had her on a bunch of different times, and she says, I'm scared of being beat up. How can I not be scared? And I think to be truthful, Fabs, because you just had that horrific accident happen where you were so endangered. And so if anybody doesn't know, Fabs was bullied, has always been bullied at school. And she recently got really, really beat up and has to have a bunch of different surgeries. I believe arm and stomach. Is that right? I'm not sure. I might be forgetting some, but It's been really, it's been really hard, and of course you're scared, and it's okay to be scared right now and to be frightened. But I would encourage you, I know that the treatment in your area might not be the best, but see a therapist. They have to get you somebody now. You were just horrifically beat up, and so I would find someone to talk to about it, because it's okay to be scared right now. Something terrible just happened to you. But talking to someone about it can start to hopefully not feel so daily terrifying, and you can hopefully slowly learn ways to calm yourself down and feel a little bit better. But give yourself time. This just happened, okay? It's it's terrible, and I hate it, and I feel really bad, but there are things we can do to help you feel better, okay? You guys, we're number 89 on top broadcasters. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay. Olivia says, what do I do when my family jokes about my eating disorder and self-harm during the holidays? Oh, thanks, Aaron Carlton. Woo, woo, woo. Okay, so first of all, jerks. Why would you joke about something like that? I don't understand. A lot of people lately, because of the holidays, are like, my family talks about blank, blank, blank and says this. And I'm like, what? I do have a video, actually, from last year called Ways to Navigate Awkward Conversations with Family. I think that's the title of it. But anyway, I would watch that. I give you ways to change the subject. I tell you how to prepare ahead with other conversation tactics. And if they do that, I think it's perfectly okay when they're making fun of it to say, you know what, I don't really find this to be very helpful. I'm going to just leave you can go upstairs, go in your room, call a friend, have them over, go out, anything. You don't have to stay there and sit there and take it. I think something that I wish I could let all of you know as younger people who live at home, that even though I know we have to live at home and there are going to be certain rules in the house and stuff like that, but there are so many ways you can protect yourself and you can set up healthy boundaries. And there's no reason for you to have to sit there while they make fun of you. That they need to learn that that's not okay. And so I think not accepting it, walking away, all of that stuff. Oh, thanks, Keely. I thought you had to go back to work. She's sneaky. I like it. Anyways, I think that, just saying no, saying it's not okay. And I wouldn't attack them because that will just lead to a fight. But I would just say, do you know how hurtful this is? This conversation is really hard for me to hear. I'm going to have to step away. And I would just walk away. Okay. I know we are so going to make it to 20,000. We're only halfway into this live stream and we're already almost at 15,000. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We're cruising right along so quickly. Oh, good, Fabs. I'm glad your surgery went really well. Okie dokie. Okay, so one more question, then I'm going to guess somebody. Ready? So this Ray Ballet says, best way to tell your therapist about self-harm. It's totally new, not something I've ever struggled with before. I know she's seen it but hasn't asked. I honestly think that the fear that we have about telling our therapist things, it makes sense because we're not used to just talking openly about these types of things with people, but it's completely okay to just tell your therapist because chances are, and I don't know if this is true, but chances are, oh, Layla gave 400 likes. Woo! Thank you, thank you. Okay. I'm like, I don't know how to really, I know that we worry because talking with a therapist in this way isn't something we do all the time, but know that we hear that stuff all the time and it's completely okay with us and there's no judgments and we're not going to be like, oh. I mean, that's just not how therapy is. It's more like, what does it mean for you? And so my guess is, with what's going on with you, is that something else was taken away. An eating disorder or some other coping skill that you used to use, like drugs and alcohol. I've had clients who stop that and then start self-injury, and turns out, we're just trading a coping skill for a coping skill. So something like that probably happened, and I would just say it that way. If that's the case, that's an easy way to bring it up, and you can say, I know we've been working on my eating disorder, and that's gotten a lot better, but I've found myself wanting to self-injure, and I know you've noticed, but, this is what I'm doing, and I don't know where it came from. I've never struggled with it before, but I want to talk about it. That's perfectly fine. And you don't have to have all the right words, but you can practice before you go in so you feel like you kind of know what to say. And then, yeah, I would just start there. Start the conversation. It's okay. It's not weird. We're not going to freak out. That's what a therapist is there for, is to hear all your weird stuff you think is not okay and to tell you it's okay. Okay? Okay, I need water. I need some water. I put it on the floor because knowing me, I'd push it onto myself. That's what would happen. Ooh, be our guest. I know. Alexandra. Thanks for taking over for Wascally Wabbit. Okay, Lucy B, are you ready? Does it show you guys where you're at in the guest list? Or because sometimes Sean will say his looks different than mine. So who knows? Let's see if Lucy B can be on. Ooh. Hi, Lucy.
Hi.
Oh.
Sorry, I have no makeup on.
Hey, that's okay. No judgment. Oh, can we hear you?
Yeah, I think. Hello?
Yeah, okay. What's your question? I get an echo, so I'll let you ask your question and then I'll drop you so I can answer.
Okay. I was wondering if self-harm could, like, turn into a habit, because I used to do it when I was really stressed, but now, even if I'm having, like, a good day, sometimes I'll still, like, feel the need to do it, and I don't know why. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Okay, I'm gonna drop you out. If you have any other follow-ups, let me know in the chat. But since I'm getting an echo to make it easy for us all to hear, so her question, if anybody had trouble, she was saying, can self-harm become like a habit? Because she used to do it when she was really stressed out or having a hard time, but then now she finds even when she's having a good day, she still will do it or want to do it. And she's like, what the heck is this about? And so I think that this is going to sound really weird, but this, just to give you a little understanding of what happens in your brain when we use eating disorders and when we self-injure, when we do these unhealthy coping skills, use drugs and alcohol, the reward system in our brain that like releases serotonin and dopamine, which are feel-good hormones, gets like excited. It gets triggered. It's like, ooh, 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 and it sends out all these good feely emotion or hormones that make us then feel, it elevates our mood. And we can feel like really relaxed. We can feel a little bit happier. Helps us feel a little bit better. And my guess would be, because we're still learning more about the genetics and how, why certain people with eating disorders get a euphoric feeling when they don't eat or when they binge eat. And when people self-injure, why do they get that euphoric feeling? We're still learning more about that because it's kind of like the way that our brains are already wired, because we know there is a genetic component to mental illnesses pretty much across the board. But with self-injury, I think that what sounds like, I think it was Lucy, right? It sounds like to me that self-injury actually triggers your reward system in your brain. And so it helps you feel good. And so even if you feel good, you're like, oh, but this could make it better. And it's the same reason, like alcoholics will be like, I like to drink when I feel like shit and I like to drink when I feel good because I just like to drink. And so I think it's completely normal and okay for you to say, you know, I just like to self-injure because it makes me feel good, period. And I think figuring out where it comes from and like healing the reason maybe that you use it versus worrying about it being triggered, because maybe for you that's not how it works. It's just the urges are always there. And so I would work more at like the root of the self-injury and where the urge ever came from the beginning. When's the first time you did it? What was happening? What kind of situations have happened to you that cause you to continue to use it? But not worrying so much about the triggers. And yeah, distractions can really help in the moment when the urges come. If it's not something you want to engage in anymore, I would encourage you to just have a bunch of distraction tools, but know that it's completely normal for us to get that weird, like, I don't know why I want to keep doing this, but I do, because our brain, we're actually like we're wired to enjoy that stuff and for it to feel good and for us to want to keep doing it. I know that sounds weird, but thanks, Amy Birdlin. Boop, boop. So yeah. Oh, bye, Sadie girl. Sorry you have to go. Ooh, somebody's speaking French. And I should learn more of how to do that. Oh, awesome. Alyssa's going to be giving talks about mental health. That's so awesome. It's so great when you guys can share your stories. I know a lot of you have shared at your local schools, and I love that. That's something that I really want to be doing more, is speaking at schools and traveling around and meeting all of you wonderful, beautiful people. But it's just, you know, those are some goals of mine, because I really think we should start talking about mental illness earlier and in school, knowing that it's okay to feel this way and this is what it means and this is when you reach out for help. I think all that is such important information. And for each of you sharing your stories and helping others, it's so amazing. And it's what's so cool about our community. Together we can raise awareness, right? Yay! Okay. Oh, Friends University. Hey, Katie, bring me out. I will come. I will come. Ooh, you guys, the chat is on fire. It's moving so quick. I'm like, I know we're so close to 20K, Connor. Woo, woo, woo. Oh, Catherine, it's your first time. Well, welcome. I hope you have a good time. We've still got plenty of time to hang out. Control the scroll. Exactly. Is Carly here? No, I didn't think she can be on. I think she's actually traveling today. Okay. Yeah, talk to your professor. Reach out to me on Twitter. I'll tell you how to get a hold of me. Okay. Oh, hi, Libby. I'll guest. I'll try to guest as many people as I can. I'm going through the guest list. Okay, but I'm going to answer a few questions in the chat first. Okay, Blogger98MG says, my therapist always asks me why I feel so sad, etc., but I honestly don't know why, and it frustrates me because she thinks I'm just not telling her. it's okay. I mean, I don't like to dog on other therapists. And I'm not even saying that like as when people say like, no offense, but, and you're like, here comes something offensive. I don't mean like, I don't like dog on therapists, but let me do that. I'm just saying that it's okay to express to them, I'm telling you everything and I just don't fucking know. And they should be able to hear that and be like, in truth, if we don't know where our depression's coming from and we don't, or our anxiety or anything, that's really, 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 really common. And know that that's completely okay. Okay? Often, that's why medication is available, because medication can really help us manage the things that we have happening and the things that are going on. And so if we don't know where it's coming from and it's just hanging there, medication can sometimes help us get our, like I've talked about before, get our head above water so we don't feel like we're drowning in it. And then we might be able to see where it came from or why it's happening. But know that it's completely normal to not always know. And I would just say that to them. And if they can't hear you, if you don't feel like your therapist is hearing you in general, we got to find somebody else. But if you like your therapist and you're like, geez, I'm trying to tell you everything, just be really blunt. It's okay. We're people too. And maybe they just don't understand. You can say, I've been thinking a lot about it. And honestly, I really just don't know. And it's not that I'm not wanting to tell you. I would love to tell you. Heck, I would love to know where it's coming from myself. But just say, I just don't know. So, oh, hey, Lauren, I'm glad you were able to make it. Oh, it's okay, Libby. I'll try to get through as many as I can. Don't worry. Don't you worry.
We hit 20,000 likes.
Oh, 20,000 likes, you guys. That
We're going to
was
30,000.
that was so fast. That was
Going
so
to
fast.
30,000.
This is awesome. Okay, one more and then I'm going to guess somebody, okay? Emily says, hey, Katie, how do I set healthy boundaries in a friendship if both myself and my friend are struggling with mental illnesses? Oh, why did it just, I tried to control the scroll and now I can't find it. Oh, no. Okay, I'm going to look for it. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, here it is. Okay. How do I set healthy boundaries in a friendship if both my friend and I are struggling with mental illness? I want us both to be okay. I think that the truth about that is, and there's a couple things. It depends on how ill both of you are, what you're struggling with. If you're struggling with the same thing, it can be both good and bad. With eating disorders and self-injury, I find them to be extremely competitive, and I actually encourage my clients to kind of distance themselves. Not cut friends off, because we're both working on recovery, right? But I honestly think it's really hard to work together on the same thing when I find them to be so competitive and to want to be the best of a bad thing. And so I think that you may have to spend a little bit more time away from them so that you can work on yourself and you can feel better. I would definitely consider that. And I would also, if you're able to not talk about that, like that could be the first boundary. It's like, it's almost like Fight Club. We don't talk about Fight Club, right? So it'd be like, with our recovery, we just don't talk about the issue together because it's hard for me. But you first, like anything, you first need to figure out what is healthy for you, like what is overstepping your boundaries, what doesn't feel good, and that can give you ideas of what to say with your friend. But if you find that your whole conversation is always about the issue, like let's just say self-harm, it's always about self-harm and the recovery, that might not be the best for you. Maybe that's not something that's good, and so I would let them know, and if there's nothing else to talk about, then maybe you just have to take a little break while you work on yourself, because it's okay to take breaks. It's okay to put yourself first, because it's really hard, Okay. Let's see. I'm Lisa. Okay, stop. That's an interesting name. I find it very cute. Okay, how can a 14-year-old be diagnosed with BPD? My mother doesn't believe what my psychiatrist had diagnosed me with. Oh, thanks, Jaylyn. Thank you. You technically can be diagnosed at any age, although it's done with a lot of concern and, I don't know, trepidation. Is that the right word? It's like we don't really want to. And they say that you're not supposed to be diagnosed until you're 18. And so most insurances and most, things like that, logistical paperwork stuff won't accept it. So it's technically not your diagnosis until you turn 18. It's a preliminary diagnosis. Like we think this is what it is, but we're waiting to see if that actually is the case. And so you're supposed to wait till 18, but people can diagnose it sooner rather than later. And if they've been seeing you long enough and have seen kind of the patterns of behavior, because if you remember, personality disorders are long-term patterns of behavior. If they know that enough, then they could diagnose you properly. But they may not have, psychiatrists don't always spend that much time with you, so I'd be a little, I don't know. Only you know how you feel and how your life's experienced. But they make us wait till 18 because often when we're teenagers, we can be really emotionally volatile, and our brains aren't fully developed, and we're acting out a lot and all of that stuff. And so they want us to wait to make sure that, it isn't just a symptom of being a teenager. Okay? Oh, thanks, Layla. I always want to say Lola. Layla. Okay, I have a friend, Layla, but she spells it L-A-I. Everybody's got to be different, right? Okay, I'm going to go over and we're going to guess somebody.
Guess.
Oh, Jennifer A. I recognize that face. Are you ready to hang out? Oh, yeah. Coffee, coffee, coffee. Let's see if we can get Jennifer on. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Such a good connection. Yay.
Oh, good. I'm glad it's not on my cell phone, actually. So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and it's funny. Now it froze, but I still hear you just fine. It's like I shouldn't have said anything. Knock on wood.
It's fine. Well, first I want to say that I just got my ticket for VidCon near you in California on the East Coast. So I'm excited for that. So I wanted to say that.
Yay.
So
Oh, why is
I'll be able to
freaking you? There. Sorry, camera's freaking.
That's
No, it's not you. It was me. I'm so excited to meet you. I'll see you in June, I think it is this year, right? Next year?
Yeah, June 21st to the 24th, I believe.
Yay, yeah, and I'll
So,
have a bunch of
yeah,
panels
so
and doing a meet and greet, so yay.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Me too.
And then, really, I know, it's exciting. So then really my question was, now I forgot my question because I was so excited. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to think. I don't know, I totally forgot my question, but
That's okay. You want to ask it in the comments if it comes back?
Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'm sorry, I just got so excited over VidCon.
No problem. Or you can message me on Patreon. I'll see it pop through. I'll try to answer it that way too.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. Good to see you.
All right, bye.
Bye.
You too, thanks.
It's normal, you guys. Everybody gets excited to be guested. And a lot of people are like, I was so nervous. They'll message me later. We're not judgmental here. You just get to be you and hang out, right? I mean, I put makeup on. You're welcome. So that I don't look really gross in this video later. But I'm still in my pajamas. Shh. Don't tell anybody. Okay. I know Emily said it took me by surprise being guested because you don't really get a warning. I'm like, hey, are you ready? Pew! So, okay, let's try someone else. Let's try to guess somebody else and see if they have, okay, sorry. Sometimes it doesn't go from waiting longest. It goes, oh, Amberly. That name is very familiar. Are you ready to come hang out? Oh, thanks, Get Skittles. Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Oh,
so you guested me last week?
I remember.
Yeah.
So how's everything going?
Good. The day that you guested me, and I went out and bought coloring books and stuff.
Yay!
So, yeah, and then I went on your website and downloaded the I forgot what it was called.
The workbook?
But, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I've been trying to use it.
Whoop, whoop. Oh, you froze. I still hear you, though. Oh.
But, the thing is, like...
Oh, I lost you. Right when it was getting into the question. Amberly, if you want to ask it, I'm going to look in the chat here for a minute. Try to put your question in, okay? Because it just kicked you out. I didn't even hit anything. It just went bye-bye. Okay, and then I'll get into some more questions. I know the chat is very happening. And look at us, 21,000 likes. Woo, 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 woo. We're doing so well, you guys. 260.
I want to capture that moment. How do I?
You got to get it ahead of time. He's got to get it ahead of time.
I want that one.
I know. We all want things. Oh, thanks, Sam Crow. You guys, the tips really help. And it's super, super nice. It helps our community grow, helps me do more broadcasts. Also, YouNow is going to have to give us, there's extra little like gizmos and gadgets I can get for us to utilize. And I've been over 200 views almost every time. Thanks, Sam Crow. We've been like over 200 views, which is like the level. I'm leveling up. We as a community are leveling up. We're so popular. And so hopefully now I can get some more gizmos and gadgets and make this, get more tools so I can make it more enjoyable for you. Okay. Let's see. Did we see Amberly's question? Did it come through? I'm looking for it. I want to give her a minute. I know, dang it, is right. That's what she said. Do you have if you put your question in, sweetheart, I'll answer it. I was just looking, oh, Nicole, I'm sorry. Losing your voice is the worst. I got to keep my voice in a very calm, low manner. Thanks, Emily29, because after these, sometimes I'm like hoarse and my throat hurts. I just get too excited. I can't help it. Oh, thanks for all the likes and the tips, Emily. You guys are so sweet. Okay. Okay. Oh, Aurelia, I'll get you on. I just do it in order of waiting. That's how it, yeah, be a guest. Be a guest, Libby. Exactly. We do our best. I do my best. Okay. Let's see if there's anybody. I'm looking, Amberly. If you have your question, you can, oh, okay. Here it is. I found it. I see it. Okay, I've relapsed in bulimia as well because my family's been forcing me to eat other meats and things. How do I tell them to stop? It depends on what your family is like. And in truth, something that I do as a therapist, and I don't remember if you have a therapist or a dietitian or anybody, but I do that with my clients all before the holidays. I'll have the parents come in at the last like 10 or 15 minutes and we talk about food. And we talk about what's okay and what's not okay. So if you have that option, I would do that and have your therapist, you know, because we have your back. That's where like your cheerleader on the side. We're like, you can do it. And we'll talk about, usually we put a plan together with the dietitian. That's how I usually do it because I always prefer them to see a dietitian. And we talk about the meals and we have a plan for the meals. And I talk about how important it is that they support it and not force other food on you and how that can be really hard. And so that's one option. Second option is to write down what you want them to hear. Remember, we have to keep it really simple because oftentimes people don't understand eating disorders fully and what that can feel like for us. And so we need to simply tell them what it is that we don't like. Tell them quickly why without it being like a you do this, blah, blah, blah. You can just say it makes it really hard for me and I feel really bad about this and then it makes my eating disorder voice go crazy. Thanks, Jaylyn. Woo-woo. And then ask what you need from them. So like what's happening that you don't like and how is that making you feel? And then what do you need from them? Like keeping it really simple and then practicing that because often I find when we go to talk to someone about something, our mind goes blank. It's like we've thought about all this stuff and then we're like, boo, we don't remember at all. And so I would just try it that way and know that they may not hear you, but if we don't say anything, we know they're not going to hear us. And so sometimes you just have to ask, you know? I would definitely try that out and let me know how it goes and let them know, like, you know, I'm doing the best I can and, you know, do engage in the meal. I still want you to sit down. I still want you to eat, you know, some of the foods that they have that are okay with you. But I would also encourage you to challenge yourself a little bit. Okay. But yeah, have that conversation. Let me know how it goes. Okay. Oh, okay, Kimmy. Well, good night. I'm glad you're able to get on. She has to go to bed. She's not feeling so well. Hope you feel better. Oh, I feel like I'm going to sneeze, you guys. I gotta fight it. Fight it. Okay, let's guess somebody else. Are we ready?
Be our guest.
I know, be our guest. It's weird. Aurelia, you said I just don't see you in here. I don't know why it's not showing. What's happening? I can't even scroll. I only see 4 people. Okay, Sophie, are you ready? And then Pantalina, it looks like you're up after that. I see you. I see you. Let's hope the service is good. Okay, let's see if we can get Sophie Ann in here. I know maybe we'll make it to 30K, you guys. 30,000 likes. And let's see if we can get, oh, it looks like she's in California maybe, Sophie? CA? No, it usually says the US. Oh, it looks like Amberly again. Do you guys see that too? Or is it nobody? You don't see anything?
It's like
You guys, it's not working. It's frozen, and it's not showing anything. We can try again. Okay. Oh, I'm glad you think that, Tortoise. That's such good advice today. Yay. Hooray. Okay. Okay, everybody's talking. Oh, Connor and Matt. There's plenty of men. You want to hear a funny story? When I first started my channel, it was all eating disorder based, and it was a baby channel, right? I had like 500 subscribers. I was like 97% women. Now we're like 30% men. I think that that's awesome. And I think that the more we talk about it and recognize that everything is just as common in men and women across the board, mental health wise, you know, the less stigma they'll be associated with. More people start talking about it. I'm happy you guys are here. And I think it's important just as important for everybody to talk about it. So, yay, we've grown. And the more, I hope someday it'll be 50-50, like it should be, because it's across the board. It doesn't discriminate. So don't feel outnumbered. You get to hang out. We're all Kenyans, right? Just ask your questions and hang out. Yeah, April remembers those days when there was, you guys, I used to literally spend, I don't know how many hours each night, but I could actually respond to every question and comment on every video. It was crazy. I mean, it used to just be so much smaller. It's just really hard, you know, to get through everything. I literally can't. And
Sorry.
What?
Twitter update.
Yeah.
Someone stole $30,000 worth of Nutella in Canada.
Did you guys hear this? Somebody stole $30,000 worth of Nutella.
I mean, that's amazing.
That's amazing.
Someone likes Nutella more than you.
I know. Who knew? Oh yeah, the blog, yeah, all the stuff, you guys. I used to like be on Tumblr all the time, and you know, and it's funny because a lot of people are like, oh, I miss it because you used to be able to do all this stuff, and I'm still here. That's the cool thing. And if you want to engage in the community and talk amongst each other, honestly, you get a lot more of your questions answered, and you get more support and all of that stuff. And I think that there are other ways to get our needs met versus just waiting for me to answer, because if a lot of you have been following me for a long time, you pretty much know what I'm going to say. That's what cracks me up. Sometimes I'm in the website, because I get in the websites usually on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and I answer questions, and I go through them and, you know, try to flip you the links to the videos or tell you my thoughts. And almost, I'd say like 75% of the time, someone will have already gotten in from the community and answered the question exactly as I would and linked the videos I would have linked. Blows my mind. So you all are amazing, and it's just, that's one of my favorite parts of the job, is like seeing you all interact and help each other. So cool. Okay, let's see. Let's try to guess somebody. Let's see. Okay, Alexandra. I don't know, Pantalina, where you went. I'm sure it'll come back. Alexandra, we're going to get you in. Are you ready? Let's see if Alexandra can come in. Oh. Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
I wasn't expecting this.
It's okay. I feel like everybody feels that way, and everybody, like, it's weird. Sometimes the guest list, I think it just gets jumbled. And so I try to always do waiting the longest. I don't know.
I had 2 questions. Is that okay?
Okay. That's perfectly fine.
Okay, the first one. Basically, so I have anxiety and stuff, but that's cool. But like recently I find that I have like
it's cutting out.
Like,
okay.
Are you okay?
Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to start from the beginning? It cut out for a little bit.
Okay. I was just saying, so I've always had anxiety, like for a long time now, but recently I find that like at school I have like no motivation or like energy to go to my lessons. And it's really important because it's my GCSEs, and so I have to go, yeah. But I don't know like what it is, because I don't think it's my anxiety, so I don't really know what it is.
Well, the truth of it is, and I don't know, you have to let me know if I'm way off base, but with my clients, in the comments, people, you can let me know too, but like depression and anxiety are like, they're like flip sides of the same coin. And so a lot of my clients who experience anxiety, when whatever it was that was either happening, or let's say they get their anxiety under control and you're using tools or you're on medication or whatever, then it flips to depression. And so it's almost like, and some people call it like a teeter-totter, like one's up and one's down. And so my guess would be that your anxiety is down, but now your depression is like, whoop, and so your concentration is probably not good, your motivation is low. And so I don't know if you're seeing anybody, or if there's anything you can do. I mean, there are things.
I was seeing the therapist at school.
Oh, okay, yeah, I would let her know and say, like, you know, before we talked about anxiety, but I feel like my depression is really bad right now. And there are certain things you can do, like, I don't know if it's seasonal for you. That may be something. I have my seasonal affective disorder video. It's just it looks like SAD. It's SAD. I know the acronym. It's just too on point. You can check that out for like tips and things you can do to improve your mood in the moment. Something weird that I think I might have even said in that video that helps some of my clients who have all of a sudden their depression will get bad is using like a citrus-based body wash in the morning. I know that sounds really weird, but it can help like motivate you and get you going. But I would talk to them because it sounds like it's your depression that's getting bad right now. We're gonna have to.
I've only been diagnosed with anxiety, not depression, but I wasn't sure like what sort of like the symptoms of depression are. I think because I thought they were sort of similar, but
Yeah, I mean, the symptoms of depression are like, and it kind of depends on the person, but it's usually like I want to sleep a lot or I can't sleep at all. Like a lot of my clients usually
Yeah.
can't sleep at night, but want to sleep all day, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Ruminating thoughts. Yeah. It can be not having an appetite or wanting to eat everything. Like it often teeters
That's
between
literally
those.
everything.
Yeah. And then lack of concentration and motivation, not liking the things you used to like. Those are kind of like the most common symptoms. And I have a video about major depressive disorder. You could, for if you want to hear all of the symptoms. But those are the ones that I see the most with my clients. And so I really think that's what's going on.
Okay, thanks. And just
Yeah.
quickly,
What's your second question? Mhm.
like in like 5 weeks ish, I think I have my mock GCSE exams,
Mhm.
and needless to say, I am terrified.
There's so much
because
pressure with
like my
those in the
anxiety,
UK.
my anxiety gets really bad in exam situations, and like
Mhm.
recently at school we've had exams and I've got really low marks in them, but then in my biology exam my teacher let me sit like outside the room and I got like percent, like compared to like 40%.
Oh,
I'm in like panic. But so I asked my teacher like whether in my mock GCSEs, my actual GCSEs, I can like sit in a different room, and she's
Mhm.
like, no, we only do that if you have ADHD. And I'm like, but I'm gonna fail my GCSEs, so
Well,
yeah,
okay, so
I don't.
I don't know. I'm going to tell you what I know. Obviously, the States versus the UK, it's all a little different.
Mhm.
But so you're seeing a counselor. So I would talk to them about it because the way that I've helped a lot of clients with SATs, which is kind of like the GCSEs a little bit. It gets you into college. It's like you're jumping off point for school, right? From high school into
Yeah.
others. So anyway, the way that it works for what I've done is if you have any mental illness, your therapist can sit in on like a meeting with your teachers, and usually it's like the school counselor or whatever, and the teachers or whatever teacher it's going to run the exam, and you can ask to sit alone in your own room or more time, and those are always granted. They just need a letter from your therapist, and they need them to sit in on a meeting, and I've done that.
Okay.
Like a ton of different times. And yeah, they're going to say only for ADD because that's usually like they think people at around this time try to do anything to cheat or to get ahead or do, whatever, but you actually have a legitimate issue and you've done better when that happened. And so I would ask your therapist about it. I would have her write a letter because you can advocate for yourself, and they, at least in the States, if those things if your therapist writes a letter and they sit in on the meeting and you come to the meeting too, they have to give it to you. Like it's against the law for them to force you, because it's like it's a Disabilities Act thing, but that's in the States. But I don't think I wouldn't think it'd be any different, because standardized testing, as long as they have a proctor, someone who can sit in there with you, you should be able to take your exams, even if I'm sure they can make it work.
Okay, because I mean, like I've been granted like rest breaks, so like
Okay.
if you feel like you're panicking, you can like leave the exam and come back in, and the time's not taken full time, but you can only have like 10 minutes per hour of the exam, and like if I'm in like a full panic attack, it will last like 25 minutes, half an hour,
I
and
was
I'm
gonna
just
say,
like,
it takes forever.
it's
And
not
then you
gonna
can't
work.
come back to focus. You're like all disheveled. Yeah. So I would talk to your therapist and have her advocate for that, and tell her that doing it in your own room would help you feel better and feel like you're more apt to be able to, to complete the exam and do well.
Completely
They'll grant it to you. Just
frozen, and I can't say.
be pushy. Did I
I can't
freeze?
hear anything you're saying.
Are you there?
I can't hear anything you just said.
Oh, I said, well, here, I'll drop you out and then let me finish. Maybe that will help. Is
Yes,
that
thank
okay?
you. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. So, Alexander, I think it's important for all of us to know this, that you can advocate for yourself, and it's important that you do so, because oftentimes I think that that they just think that people are trying to cheat. And unfortunately, in a lot of things like this, the people who kind of, use the system end up hurting the people who really need it. But if we really advocate and we keep talking, we keep shouting, we keep saying we need more time, we need this, you'll get the help that you need. Just keep shouting to be heard. Emily, I won't be on Twitter today. I'm going to take a break, you guys, a little bit this weekend. I'll try to get through as many of your questions and comments and stuff like that as I can. But I'm going to try to take a little break, you know. But if you want to see what I'm up to, follow me on Snapchat and Instagram, both Kati Morton 1. You can find me and see what I'm up to. But I'm going to take a little break so I can have like a nice weekend to relax and recharge and come back on Monday swinging. Okay, let me see. Let's try to guest another person here and see if I can find some of you that have been waiting a long time. Okie dokie. Oh, thanks, Sam Crow. Okay, it looks like to be, you guys, I don't see, I know someone, Aurelia, you said that you were waiting, and I don't see you in the list, and I'm sorry that, you know, I don't, but I know that you've been waiting, and I just can't find you, so I'm sorry. Okay, Ava, are you ready? I'm gonna connect you to be our guest, and I'm gonna answer a few more questions, then we're gonna skedaddle. Sean and I have a birthday party tonight. I'm very excited. Oh, it says that you're there? That's so weird. I swear to God, I'm looking and I just don't see it. Hi, Ava. How are you?
Hi. I'm good, thank you. I'm
I love your glasses.
I'm actually German, but I'm doing an exchange here. That's what my question is kind of related to, because I had to redo the year because they couldn't let me rewrite many exams because of panic attacks. I had like 4 missing, and I had to redo the grade with straight A's. Yeah, because of panic attacks and exams. So I had to redo the grade, and that was like really hard. Like last year, this year was like the hardest year in my life.
Yeah.
So I was able to. I kept the first half of everything because I managed to rewrite like 9 exams in 1 month, which is like really hard because that was like 11th grade.
Wow.
That was like terrible. But I managed to save the first semester, and I only have to redo the last half. But I'm still like in a different grade now, and I feel really bad because I just assume that everyone thinks I'm stupid, which is like I know I'm not because I had straight A's basically.
Yeah.
So I'm in England now, but I'm really nervous when I get back, because I'm so afraid that the panic attack will come back and I can't redoing grades.
Well, are you seeing a therapist or a psychiatrist or anybody?
Yeah.
Are you on any medication for your panic attacks?
Yeah, SSRIs.
I would see if there's more they can do for you. I know this sounds like I don't want to name any medications because everybody's going to be different, but many of my clients, there are like 2 medications that psychiatrists will commonly prescribe for panic attacks themselves, not just anxiety, but the actual attacks. And my clients find them extremely helpful. The one thing that I would encourage you to do, if they don't tell you already, is when you take them when you study, so that you're used to that feeling, that calm, because it's weird, like a lot of my clients say it makes them feel really confident and calm, which is nice when you're taking an exam. That's like what we would hope, right? And so I want you to get used to that feeling so that when you take the medication and you're taking the exam, you feel really good and calm. Another thing you could do if medication is too scary or if they won't give you anything that helps is finding out if you, I don't know, I'm sure they're making some accommodations, but I would advocate for more time, being able to be in a room by yourself.
That's what
they'll allow you to.
That's what I was like referring to. I wrote that in the comments. Like Alexandra, I think was her name. I've got like extra time. I can write in front of the corridor, but basically, they are like completely done with me. They're like, oh, that like stupid girl. She just wants more time. There were like other students complaining about me being annoying, and they're like, we can't deal with you anymore. We're done with you. We just want you gone, really. So that's kind of hard. And now I'm really scared about the teachers and about like the new grade when I come back. Like, do you have any tips about that? Like, that's so like hard. And then I got
managing them.
Sorry?
I dealing with them, like being so judgmental, like how to deal with them.
Like dealing with them, like in the situation, I guess, you know.
Like, sorry, it cut out. What was that?
Like being in the situation, you know.
Yeah, I think there's a couple things. I mean, the one thing, like, since you have like people that you're seeing to get help, I would have them advocate for you more so you don't have to deal with them, so you can like just show up for
That happened
school
last
and
year
just
too.
do your thing.
Yeah.
So that's something to like distance yourself from it. And also just doing some self-care and some positive self-talk each day could help, because it sounds like this whole situation's kind of caused you to have some negative thoughts about yourself and feeling like like everybody's judging you kind of.
Yeah.
And so I think it might be good for you to spend some time at the end of each day doing something positive for yourself and writing down like 2 things you like about yourself and working it up to get to like 5 things. Even if it's just like, I have really cool glasses and amazing hair.
Ah, thank you. If that's
Yeah,
okay,
like,
thank you.
but starting
also,
stuff like
that was
you
like
know.
made harder because sorry if I'm blocking so much time, by the way.
No, you're fine.
Because I was in the first host family I was just because I'm studying abroad in England for half a year. So I'm actually from Germany, and they like for some reason the house mother started shouting at me, and that like triggered panic. And she said I hadn't told her before, which I had, like about medication. Obviously, like they need to know that. And she threw me out at 11 o'clock in the night after I was still having a panic attack and I was shaking and I was homeless in a different country.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm so
kind of
sorry that
used to
happened.
now. Yeah, it was pretty bad, but well, I mean, everything kind of like turns out alright. Like I'm really glad like friends
Yeah.
helped a lot. And like I'm really glad like my mother was like quite stressed because like she was really anxious, and I was like quite glad like about family and friends, so like that's really helpful. I also wanted to say, if anyone hasn't read like from Nat Fazzini, it's kind of a funny story. They should read it. It's really relatable, and I think Nat Fazzini actually committed suicide earlier, like a couple of years ago. But it's really, really relatable, like really good.
Ooh, it cut out just then. That was weird.
Yeah,
Sounded
that was
like
my
a robot.
Oh, that was my phone. Yeah.
But I like what you said about how everything really just turns out okay, because I think that's important for people to hear. Like your friends helped out, and people, like I think that's something that we all need to kind of remember, is that things can be shitty and we can be stuck in what we think is like a hopeless situation. But if we keep fighting, it gets better. And we've all been there. Like I'm not one to say I haven't had a tough time or a really rough year or two, and I always find that it does end up working out, even in it. Like I know you can't always see out of it, and you think this is so terrible. But if we keep persisting, we just keep going forward, it does end up working out. But I think it would be important for you to take some time to help yourself and like put more back into you that's positive. And let me know how that goes. Keep me posted. Hopefully that will help you feel a little bit better. And I know that it's hard, but also advocating. And I would ask for other medication for the testing, okay?
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Of course. Good to see you, Ava. Yeah. Bye. Oh, we're number 31 on top broadcasters. So I'm just going to hang out for a little bit more and answer a few questions in the chat. And then we're going to skedaddle because Sean and I have a fun day planned of nothing. I'm just kidding. We have his best friend's birthday party. But we had to figure out what we're going to do. But I think that that's an important message that Ava said, that like, you can't really see out, but it always ends up working out. And I think that's kind of important for us to remember, because it can feel like shit and we can't see out in the moment, but knowing that things can get better is sometimes powerful, and just reminding yourself of that. Look at guys, almost 23,000 likes. Woo woo. I thought we would get to 30. Didn't we think we'd get to 30? Thanks, Emily29. All of the tips, all of the likes, all of the things. Okay, let's answer this question. Ilana, I think is the name. I'm not sure. Has a cute little white dog. Says, why do I obsess about what is said in therapy every week and what I'm going to say to my therapist next week? It could be a lot of things. It could be anxiety driven. It could be that maybe we need to see our therapist more frequently because we worry that we're going to say something wrong or not get everything out or not get all of our stuff talked about. So that's really, really common when it comes to that, because I think that it can feel like we only have an hour and we obsess about it because we worry that it depends on where it's coming from. But I think it's either anxiety or we need to see our therapist more often because 1 hour is just not enough. And that's really common, though, to worry and to obsess and to want to make sure and writing things down could help with that. Writing it down and bringing it in and going through your list so you don't forget, if that's kind of where that's coming from. But that could definitely really help. Okay. Oh, thanks, Omar. Such sweet comments, you guys. Okay, how do I cope? Abby says, how do I cope with a family that believes crying is a weakness and even saying you have a headache is a weakness? Whew, that's a toughie. I know, editor's choice. Yay! In truth, I think that there's some psychoeducation that could happen. We call psychoeducation like sharing my videos and having them listen and learn about what mental illness is and where headaches actually come from. I'm sure there's one by like the ASAP Science or something where they talk about where headaches come from. But it may be more around like setting healthy boundaries with family, which I'll have a video coming out about that. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel, Kati Morton. But there's a video about that so you can set up boundaries, because sometimes we can do all that we can to speak up, to tell our family, to try to explain things, to help them better understand, and they still don't get it. And we can't force people to understand what's going on. We can do our best, but then the next step is really just setting boundaries around it, and maybe we just don't talk about that stuff. And if they're going to say it's a weakness, we can leave the room, or we can say, I don't agree. You know, it depends on how your family navigates things, but there are things you can say and do so that you don't start a fight and you kind of shut the conversation down. And those in my videos about dealing with toxic people, and then I'll have one coming out in the next couple of weeks about setting boundaries with the family members like that. Those are all things that you can do, because I think a lot of us are in situations like that, and know that it's okay. And we'll just navigate it the best we can to keep ourselves safe. And if you didn't see, you guys, we have posters. I don't want to forget to share them with you. Okay, so the first one that I have is the Healthy Mind, Healthy Body on DFTBA. They're on sale today. But look, I love the colors of this one, truthfully. And you can see on the body and mind, it has like little detailed leaves on it. I really like that. And then the other one is the Process Not Perfection. And this one sits horizontally. Can you see without the glare? Yeah. So if you want to check them out, they're on sale today. There's $2 off. And I know that shipping is pretty cheap. And I know that DFTBA has their own all of their own different, deals going on for Black Friday. So you can check that out. If you want them, I just want you all to be able to save money and get them. And then let me know. Put your pictures up. Hashtag Kenyans, or tag me. Actually, the easiest thing is just tag me. Tag me on Twitter, on Instagram. Let me know if you get them and what you think, because they were going to overnight them to me, but with the holidays and stuff, I did not get them in time. So that's why I'm just showing you pictures, because I want them too. I put them on my wall.
These are on the wall where the calendar is.
Right behind. We'll put it up there. Yeah. But we got two, so we have to figure it out. It'll be a little logistical thing, but we'll figure it out. But these are our first posters ever. I've never made posters before. It actually took quite a few goes for me to be like, I don't like that. I like this. I like this color. No, don't do that. More of this. So I hope you all love them and check them out. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Process Not Perfection. Oh, as one of our posters, she asked, my roommate is the RA and I feel like she's got stuck with me because of her mental health issues. How do I work through this worry and talk to her? In truth, okay, so it sounds like we're assuming she's stuck with you, but know that RAs actually they have the pick of the litter of where they want to be and who they want to be with. Or at least that's the way it was in my school. So I wouldn't think she got stuck with you. I think she chose to be with you. So maybe think of it that way. But if you are concerned that she's stuck with you, or you think that she is, I would just start talking with her. See if you have anything in common, if you actually like her, if you want to be friends with her. I mean, if someone, living in college, everybody's technically stuck with everybody. If you didn't pick your roommate, you're just kind of thrown into this pool and then you're stuck with someone, you know? And I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I think you can see if you want to be friends with her and if you like her, and honestly, then let it go. If you don't, maybe you don't even want to be friends with her. Maybe you feel stuck with her. I wouldn't think of it in any certain way. I would think more along the lines of do I want to get to know this person? Do I like them? Are we just great roommates and maybe we don't have to be friends? That's okay too. Living together in college can be a wonderful thing or a terrible thing, but we just have to make the best of it. And I think just starting to talk with her and seeing what you have in common and if you really like her. Okay, I need water again. You guys, do follow me on Snapchat. This here is that huge box that I accidentally ordered. Ugh, filled. You guys, so I tried to order 10. I tried to order 10 of these. 10 for my Patreon patrons so I can send stuff out to them. I think I got 110. When I got the thing, it was like, your box has been delivered. I was like, box? It's a fucking box. So heavy. Ridiculous. Why do I need so many of those? I'm never
asking what an RA is, by the way.
Oh, an RA is a, what do they call, residential assistant?
Advisor.
Oh, a residential advisor. So, thanks, Sean.
Poor mom.
It's essentially, because there's actually two. There's an RA and a something. We had two. And they're essentially the person you go to in your dorm to ask for advice or to tell them you're having an issue with someone. They're the person that you go to. Oh, thanks, Jalen, for your tip. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah, so that's what an RA is. They're just kind of like your house mom / advice, or they'll help you, like, say you're having a really big fight with a roommate and you don't get along. They're the ones that try to, like, mediate it or help you find another place to stay. So that's what they are. Okay, I know control the scroll is right, Jennifer. I was like, I'm going to ask her another question. Then I was like, shoo. Ooh, Emily capture a moment. Okay. Oh, it's like the head boy of university. Interesting. Okay, head boy or head girl. Do you have one of each? Is that how it goes? How interesting. I love to hear all the different takes of people in different like what you call it in different areas. Okay, Bethany's saying, can you develop an eating disorder from a medication like Adderall? Oh, thanks, Pantalina. The truth is, I know I will never run out, Gloria. That is true. I have so many envelopes. The truth is no. That's not where eating disorders come from. That's not how it works. It could maybe jumpstart something, like if you're already struggling and then you're like, oh, I could do this. This is the way to cope. I feel better. But remember, eating disorders are coping skills. And a lot of people assume, oh, I have to have had a trauma or I have to have something terrible happen to me. No, you just have to have something that's going on with you, whether it be like internal anxiety or low self-esteem, or it could be any number of things, depression. And like I said, we're learning more about genetics and how our brain is wired. And so when we don't eat, we actually feel better and it improves our mood. Or if we binge eat, if we overeat, it improves our mood. Like however our brain is wired for it, we do that and it helps us feel better. And so that's why we use the eating disorder. It's not going to be caused by Adderall, but it can definitely like help it along. Okay. Oh, good, Fabs. I'm glad you're back and feeling a little bit better. Okay, let's see. Okay, Sumo, this is a good question. It says, is it normal that when I have a good day that it feels strange and kind of not right? Like I'm sabotaging myself into feeling bad sometimes. It's very normal. The funny thing about being a human, there's so many funny things about being a human, am I right? But the funny thing about being a human is that we are so adaptive and we get really used to feeling a certain way and acting a certain way. And when we're so used to feeling like shit, let's just say we're depressed, right? We're so used to feeling down and bad and ugh all the time that when we feel good, we're like, WTF, I don't like this at all. I don't understand. What's going to happen? Something bad's got to happen because something bad usually happens and we feel really uncomfortable with it because it's really just not normal and we're not used to it. And so it's completely normal for you to feel weird when you have a good day. But the cool thing is that we're adaptive. And if we keep having good days, then having a bad one feels weird. So think about it. Try to breathe, allow yourself to enjoy the good day, and know that it's okay to kind of have to fight that feeling of like, oh, I don't like this. It feels so weird. Okay, 2 more questions and then I'm going to go, you guys, because I got things to do. Do you guys see this? It's funny, this light, this is a chickenpox scar. Random fact. I could not stop itching as a kid, even though my mom, like, taped oven mitts to my hands. I still found a way. Scratch, scratch. Thanks, Jalen. Does anybody else have chickenpox scars? Anybody else have chickenpox? Am I the only one? Okay, let's see. Okay, this is a quick question I can answer. It says, I live abroad and would like to get help in my mother tongue. That's very common. A lot of people do. I've contacted many therapists for Skype sessions, but they never reach back. What now? Do you have, it depends on where you're at. Like in the States, we're very fortunate that there are a lot of therapists who speak different languages. I would look into that. I don't know exactly where you are, if you're in the US or if you're in another country, but I would, start calling around to therapists and asking if they have, if they know of other therapists who speak other languages. You can start reaching out to different therapy groups because those usually have, like, for instance, my first job when I worked at like a low-income counseling center, we had 4 different languages covered. We had Farsi, Spanish, obviously English, but I'm not counting that, German, and then one girl even spoke Swedish, I believe. Anyway, so just asking, just reaching out can sometimes help and get that. And also, there are some other sites. I want to say it's BetterHelp. Oh, of course, Emily. She says, thanks for creating a safe place. You guys all create the safe place too, right? We all keep it safe. So there's like betterhelp.com, I think, and even, is it Talk Life? Those are all like online things. Oh, thanks, Pebbles. I remember that name. So those are ways that you can find different therapists, and I think you can select languages. And if anybody knows of any others where you can get online to be connected with a therapist, let us know in the chat. But I think that's where I would start, okay? I hope that helps. Okay. Benin says, can one go to therapy without a problem? Yeah, of course. I do all the time when I just kind of need to vent. You don't have to have a diagnosis. You don't have to have an intense struggle to get help. Getting help is more just like if I just need someone to talk to, I need something to do, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed or I'm feeling stressed out. It doesn't have to be a major life issue. Like I have many clients who are just like, oh, I'm just having anxiety around school. You know, can I come every other week? Sure. I have some that come every week. I have all sorts of different things, different people just having different issues or just wanting to talk. I've seen many like moms especially who want to just come in and have someone to listen while they vent. That's all fine. You don't have to have, oh, we're number 30, you guys, 23,000 likes. So you don't have to have a problem to go to therapy. You just have to want to go to therapy. And sometimes I think that it's just helpful to have someone, you know? That's how I feel. Okay, Pantalina says, Katie, my family's angry with me for going inpatient next week and they aren't talking to me. What do I do? Truthfully, if you need to go inpatient and they can't hear you, Pantalina, I would probably, and this is going to sound weird, but I'd probably just email them what you think, and I would encourage you not to be aggressive or frustrated, and you could just speak what you're feeling. Like, it's just hurtful because this is what I need, and I hope that you could support me, but I want you to know where I'm going and how to get a hold of me and all this stuff. I would just put it in an email, and I would send it out, and then I would go, because you're doing what's best for you, and unfortunately, we can't always expect people to understand that. I'd love it if we could, but we can't control other people. We can only control ourselves, and so if they're not willing to hear you and to be okay with it, you know, we're just going to have to do our best to take care of ourselves and know we're doing what's best for us. And they'll come around. We just have to take care of ourselves first. And that's what I would do. And I'm sorry that they're doing that. That's really terrible. But at least then you can get out what you're feeling. But I would encourage you not to be aggressive or too angry, because it's really important that they hear you and that they're able to read it, and, you know, everything will be okay. Okay, one more question. Oh, thanks, Angel Shannon. We have almost 23,500 likes. Okay. Dooney 123 says, is it normal to get diagnosed in your first therapy appointment? Sometimes yes. If it's like major depression, it's really easy and quick for me to diagnose people. And I don't mean like easy, like, oh, it's so simple. I just mean that the symptoms are usually pretty present and we notice them quite a bit. And so that's something that I can usually diagnose pretty quickly. Or if they have panic attacks, those are easy. If they have panic disorder, that's easy to diagnose. Anxiety can sometimes really be easy. But usually I give it a few sessions, and I don't always diagnose my clients, even though I technically have a diagnosis. I don't diagnose them unless insurance requests it, or we have to get more assessments, because I always think, like, I don't want diagnoses following people, and if they don't want that in paper and in writing and in the stratosphere of insurance and information online, I just don't put it out there. But yeah, you can get diagnosed in the first session, but it's not that common per se. It depends on what it is that you're struggling with. Okie dokie. Last two questions, okay? We'll do two more. Arena says, how much support can a school counselor give? Is it very light support? Mine says I need intensive therapy and I don't know if I should or / need it. They do give a more light type of help because they're not there when school is out. They may get transferred and you may not be able to see them anymore. There's usually a limited amount of sessions they can give each student because there's usually only a couple of them and there's a lot of students. And also many of them aren't actually like licensed therapists like me. Some of them just have, not just have, but some of them have a degree in psychology and then either became a counselor or they just like give advice and help support students. They don't have to have, not always in the school systems, especially in the States, they don't have to have a license. If you go see a therapist, then they do. But school counselors are more of a light help and kind of to get you hopefully started on talking to someone. help support you if you're having trouble in school and get you what you need from the school, like more time on tests or being able to sit in a separate room. They can help you with IEPs and stuff like that. But then if you need more intensive therapy or want to see someone more regularly, like twice a week or something, I would encourage you to see a therapist outside of school. And they even actually, some school systems will bring someone to you, like a psychiatrist, a psychologist, a therapist. They have them that circulate through the district, and you can do that way. Okay, last question. Are you guys ready? Okay, Renee says, yeah, they're like the bridge to therapy. It's a really good analogy, April. Okay, Renee says, how do you deal with trauma when everyone around you is coping differently? The media always talks about the attack on my high school on international news. To be truthful, trauma is difficult and everyone's resiliency is different. I'll have videos out with that trauma specialist where we talk about resiliency, and it's fascinating. Everyone's resiliency is different. Everyone's going to process trauma differently. And so recognize that. Allow yourself to accept that it's going to be different for you because you're different. Your experience is different. All the things you've gone through before are different. All the things that make you you are different from other people. And so just allowing yourself the permission to be you and to process it as you need to, as you can in your own time. Also, see someone. Please, please, please see a therapist and start talking to someone because trauma is hard, and it sounds like you had a really horrifically traumatic thing happen at your high school. And I think that getting the support that you need and having someone to talk to and process through it will really, 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 really help. And knowing that then you're on your own path to recovery, your own process, okay? So that's what I would do. I think that will help the most. And just allowing yourself to be different and to take your time with it, okay? I love you all. Thank you so much for being on. We were like an hour and a half today. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you liked hanging out. And we'll do, we do them every week. So I will do, next week. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook. That's usually where I post. Twitter usually, but I usually post on Twitter quickly, and then Facebook I usually put up later. Yeah, thanks Jennifer for being on. You're so sweet. Enjoy your weekend, you guys. I hope you get to relax, do some things that you love, take care of yourself, all the wonderful things. Thanks, Pebbles. You guys, we made it to 23,635 likes. That's amazing. But I love you all. Like I said, follow me on Instagram and Snapchat if you want to see what I'm up to. Spoilers, it's not that exciting. But, oh, thanks, Miko. You guys, thanks for all your tips. They really do help. And, if we can get all our tips up, maybe I'll do some extra live streams. You never know. Oh, thanks, Carolyn. I'm so glad that you found the advice really helpful. And these will be on YouTube forever. Yes, it just stays like a video. If I link it to it, then, 11:30 p.m. Oh, we'll go to bed. We'll then get to relax. Oh, thanks, Nazanin. It was so great to hang out with you guys. Oh, and Patreon, Emily, is, bye, Sarah Smith. Bye. Patreon is a way for you all to donate to the channel and honestly keep the channel going. And you go over to Patreon, patreon.com, look for Kati Morton. And you can see all the different levels. You get little benefits and bonuses, and it's a monthly charge. So like $1 a month or $5 a month or $50 a month. I have somebody doing $100 a month, whatever you're able to give. Know that nothing will change for you if you can't be a Patreon patron. But if you are a Patreon patron above a certain level, you get extra videos. You get to hang out, like I do a live hangout with some of them. I send out gifts and letters, handwritten notes from me. There's all sorts of different things. So that's what Patreon is if you're curious, and you can go check it out. And I even do a poll if you're $10 or more, where we get to pick what the next videos are. I let them pick the holiday videos. I gave them like the ones that people had requested, and they got to pick the ones that got filmed. So it just gives you another way to interact and another way to support the channel, and hopefully you all like it. It's actually really fun, and I've enjoyed the community that's growing over there as well. Okay, I love you all. There'll be more if you have questions that didn't get answered. I do the best I can, but I'm only one, remember? There's no minions hiding behind me answering questions feverishly. There's Sean. He's doing the best he can to give you the information, but I love you all. I'll see you next week, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye!